Hello everybody, Road Warriors 627 here, and welcome back to another Thoroughbred Racing preview here on my channel. This is video number 2 for the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival, and it's the first of the 3 daily previews. Today we're going to be discussing Thursday's card, which is a sunset racing card at Belmont. Post time is 3:05. There's 9 races. There's 3 stakes races on June the 3rd, 2021. We have to talk about the weather just a little bit because it seems like we might get some rain into and out of this day. It is about a 50% chance right now. The good news is, though, it shouldn't be anything sustained. They're saying the thunderstorms should be scattered. The rain is going to be a little on and off. So, if anything, it won't be just raining down forever. So, right now, I'd say we're probably going to handicap normally. And definitely, I think Friday and Saturday, the main track should be fine. But, of course, just bear that in mind as we go along. Of course, my formal selections will be up for all 3 of these days on the days themselves on Twitter, as me and Sammy, who I'll introduce to you in a minute, we've done the whole meet. But with that out of the way, let's get started. We got the same guests right now as the Belmont Stakes video that came out earlier today. We've got Sammy Roseman, of course.
I am back.
We've got Sketchy the Horse Guy, otherwise known as Nathan.
Hello.
And we've got Jack Sargent of Racing Rundown, who soon has to go record his own stuff. So we're going to let Jack give out all his opinions for today first, before the other 3 of us run through this card. Jack, what do you have in store for us on Thursday?
Well, first of all, I'll say it is great to be back once again. I'm only going to give out picks for the 2 greatest stakes just because I didn't have enough time nor really desire to go through the rest of the card. Andrew and Sammy are going to talk about in the Astoria Stakes, a really good first-time starter for Trainer Reed, the number 2 horse. I'm not going to piggyback off of that because I'm purely going to be going with that horse because of their advice. Priced horses of Chad Brown entries in the 2-6. The first one is the Intercontinental. Publication is the name of the horse. She's a Juddmonte filly by Tappet. Very long amount of time off, but first back off the layoff, she won. This is her first start in stakes competition, obviously. I like that it's going to be second back off the layoff for her, but the most important thing is she is going to be the longest priced of 2 Chad Brown horses in the race. Don't really think that 10-1 is going to hold because you have a couple horses that are entered main track only that are shorter prices than her. And right now, the morning line second choice is entered main track only. So that money will probably go to Publication. She definitely is not going to be 10-1, but that's not going to dissuade me from her. Regal Glory is a horse that I like in races when she's not the headline of a Chad Brown entry. And it's also possible that she is also entered in the Just a Game stakes. So she could scratch out of this race and go on Friday, but that's not why, or excuse me, go on Saturday in the Just a Game. That's not why I'm going against her though. But, I like Publication. If she is the only Chad horse in the race and Regal Glory does scratch, then oh well, I'll just deal with that. I think that she could still win the race anyway. But going on to the next race, the Wonder Again, race 8. This is the one that I feel really good about, and it's kind of strange because it is very risky to be taking the longer priced Chad in here, but I've done it before with Fluffy Socks. Fluffy Socks is a horse that I really like personally. I hit her in the Salima Stakes back in October on Preakness weekend. She was 6-1 in that race. She's 8-1 on the morning line. She'll probably be similar to the odds she went off in the Salima. And she's been very consistent since her first career start. You can always forgive a horse for not running well first time out, but a couple stakes wins for her, including she won the Jimmy Durant out in California back in November. First back off the layoff was a second place finish behind a filly for Christophe Clement, who I think is going to be pretty good throughout the summer. That was Bubbles on Ice. She didn't run good in the 3-year-old filly turf race. It is escaping my mind right now on Preakness Day, but I think that there were a lot of horses that you could forgive poor efforts for in that race, and Bubbles on Ice was definitely one of them. And Fluffy Socks narrowly lost to her. Her career, she only loses races narrowly aside from that first career start, which I already mentioned I'm not going to be taking too much into account. I really like her. I think that she stacks up very well to all the other horses in the race. Jouster is very scary with Luis Saez on the lead, and the inner turf does, as will be mentioned on here, does carry speed. very well. But at the end of the day, Fluffy Socks is a really good horse. She's a massive overlay. If she stays anywhere near that 8-1, you got to use her in here because she is a good horse and does not run a bad race as of late, excusing that first start.
Oh, I think the race you were thinking of, I think it's called the Hilltop.
If that was the one that was run this year,
the Pimlico Preakness Day one, I think it's called the Hilltop.
No, the Salima was the one that Fluffy Socks won in October. The Hilltop was the one that was run this year.
Oh, I thought you were.
No. But I'll specify that if anyone isn't 100% clear on what I was saying. Fluffy Socks won the Salima, which was a race for 2-year-old grass fillies back in October on Preakness Day, and Bubbles on Ice was running in the Hilltop on Preakness Day this year, which was a grass race for 3-year-old fillies. So may have been a little bit of confusion there. If there was, that's the clarification.
And Bubbles on Ice lost to like small tidbit. She lost to Mia Martino, who's like one of the long shots in this field.
Now, question for Jack before you go.
Yes.
When she crossed the wire first in the Jimmy Durante, was she singing Frosty the Snowman?
Not really sure, but all I'm happy with is that there was an inquiry there. Didn't take her down. I had her in that race as well, so was nice to not be screwed by stewards when I disproportionately get screwed by stewards in races that I pick.
We all do. Usually it's I finish second and they should take a horse down and they don't. That's what usually happens. Anyway, Jack, thanks for sticking around to help give some analysis for the two graded stakes here. I appreciate that. And hopefully we'll see you again in the next couple of videos for the next couple of days when we record them tomorrow, Wednesday the 3rd.
I definitely will be back.
The
2nd. There is actually one other point that I do want to make that I actually did forget to make going through this. About one more point about the Jimmy Durant. The horse that Fluffy Socks beat by a half a length was a filly named Javonica. You may not know the name Javonica, but Javonica ran a very game second in the El Camino Real Derby to a horse by the name of Rombauer. You may have heard of him before, won the Preakness, so there's some strong back class in the races that she has won. So that's another point for Fluffy Socks. But anyway, that's all that I have. I will be back on with Andrew for the Friday and Saturday previews whenever those are.
Thank you, Jack, for coming.
I won't be able to join those because I'm going to a lake house on Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll have you here for today then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks for coming, Jack, and we'll catch you next time. All right, let's go through this card now, formally. Well, informally, I guess I should really say. Yep. And we're going to, Nathan's going to throw in a few thoughts here and there. Me and Sammy are going to go through each race relatively quickly. Did you see anything in the first race, Sammy? Because it's confusing. It's a claimer. Yeah. It's 6 on the main track.
This is actually my first time I've been looking at the early races. But because it's all right race. The horses they'll probably end up winning. It's definitely going to be probably Steam Engine. You know, Carl Brokeberg actually brought some horses to Belmont, which is he's a good trainer. Dark Money's good, but the horse that interests me is why is Big Mountain 8-1 in this race? I think this horse fits perfectly in this race.
I think he's a player. Yeah.
8-1 just seems too high. If he's 8-1, he'll definitely be that choice.
And Misselli's been good.
Yeah,
Misselli's been real good.
We also have Jose Loscano on the outside at 6-1.
Right. I think Steam Engine's very dangerous, and you're going to see that I think Cancel has a very good chance in the next race, too, and he has a very good chance to sweep the early double. Now, even though I don't really have picks yet for this race, obviously I will, Sammy will. We're just going to post those the morning of, because obviously we don't even know what the hell the track's going to be like, because there might be some rain. So we'll have to figure that out. I'll hopefully post some pictures of this day as well, because I'll be there all 3 days of the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. Let's move on to race number 2.
Race 2, the only... Yeah, continue.
6 furlongs on the inner turf, $90,000 maiden race. Pretty nice. Anything in here you see?
Yeah, the one Isle of Wight. That horse is really interesting to me because horse coming off the layoff, but it's coming from France. Peter Brandt owns Chad Brown, Irad. the horses coming out of stakes races. Like, how's he gonna run here? That's the horses. That's a horse that interests me. I should say. But Chad Brown 8-1. What?
I was just saying, yeah, the foreign ones. If it's a turf race, right?
Yeah, second race.
Yeah, they're always something worth considering.
Especially from Chad. Chad does well with the foreign shippers, especially first time in the States. Now, Chad's got 2 in here, which obviously scares the crap out of me. And normally, I would just box the 2 Chads, which you're going to see me do later on this card. And maybe I'll do that here just as a quick backup. The Quinella, there is a Quinella in the second race, but to be honest, the Quinella with the 2 Chads probably isn't going to pay that good. So I'll probably just box the whole Exacta just as a backup saver. Clement's got a horse who's pretty live. This is who I'm interested in. I'm going to play across the board. There is one first-time starter in this race for John Kimmel. Actually, there's 2 first-time starters. One of them's an MTO. Hopefully this race doesn't come off the turf. The 4 Tuscan Queen is that first-time starter for the grass. Now, Kimmel is not good with first-time starters, but I do think the horse's works are okay. And Jose Ortiz coming to ride, that's a good sign for me. And in a race where I really don't love anybody, this is kind of who I'm going to go to just as taking a shot. Not going to play this race real heavily. And then, of course, we have to look at the 7. Because the 7 is Johnny V and Wesley Ward. And, man, are they on fire right now.
They don't lose.
They don't lose. It's freaking amazing what they're doing at Belmont this meet so far. We're halfway through. Their numbers are through the roof. Over 50% clicking together. Even more with first-time starters. But this is not a first-time starter. This is a horse who was up on the lead and faded late to lose at Keeneland, going 5.5 on the lawn. This time has to get another 16th, but the way the Wesley horses have been running, you'd have to imagine that this horse, 6 feet apart, funny coronavirus name, is going...
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I know,
God
right?
Damn it. God damn, that hits a little too close to home.
You have to
maybe
keep reminding us about this shit.
Maybe when she retires, she should have a, her first foal should be named Too Soon.
Or maybe, what about fully vaccinated? That'll be the,
wait,
the name.
Yeah, it's like Foaly. Vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. That's a great name. Somebody needs to get that out there. Fully vaccinated.
And give me credit. I want retails or whatever you get for like creating something and using it.
Royalties.
Yeah, I want royalties.
So I'm going to try and hook up the 4 and the 7 in here and maybe use Clement and the 2 Browns as backups. Otherwise, I don't really particularly like anybody too much in here. Alright, race number 3 is $92,000 allowance going 6.5 on the main track. Sammy, anything here besides reinvestment risk? Because we know he's here. Is Sammy alive?
Wow, I didn't even check. So grade 1. So basically, deal of running later in the Woody Stevens and is gonna cream, and then lost the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah,
pretty badly.
I'm a little surprised as to the distance this horse is coming back at. Reinvestment risk. That he's coming back at such a short distance. And the price on the morning line is a little bit suspect to me. I'm surprised he's only 8-5. I figured he'd be even shorter. There's this other horse in here, Following C, who's freaking 6-5. I didn't even see. Previously trained by Baffert, working bullets for Pletcher. I guess really improved at Oaklawn, but I mean, you're gonna make a horse like that 6-5?
I don't know. I mean, more money for us. I think I guess the reason why they're going so short is because Jackie's Warrior did the same thing, going back really short after losing the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in Southwest. I mean, and look where that got him.
That's
so maybe
true. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Besides, so people always say that, like, as a handicapping tip, longer distance horses shortening up is actually usually a good thing, and you should keep them in mind.
Sammy, you're muted, just so you know. I don't know if you know you're muted.
She didn't hear anything I was saying?
No, I didn't hear anything you were saying at all.
I was about to do a terrible Sammy impression right there and just take over for him.
Reinvestment risk. You know what I was saying?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Nothing
Sorry.
about reinvestment risk at all. You were muted.
Speaking, you guys mute. I thought you guys heard me. Anyways. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
Hey, yes, man, we can hear you.
But I can't believe reinvestment risk is not in favor in this race.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's shocking.
Following Steele, guess user, I actually picked him in that race. Previous trained by Juiced Up Bafford. It's working good. But like another horse that is also good that's 5-2. It's Wuda. You think now? What do you think now? I think it's right.
Yeah, what do you think now?
Yeah, that horse. This is actually a good allowance race.
That horse gets the rail and gets Saez. Could be dangerous if speed carries.
Yeah, David. Don't. Oh, Angela, you're gonna salivate over the. Look at race 4. Look at number 2.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to race number 4 now because there's not much really to say about race number 3. It's a bunch of good horses in here. Race number 4 is very interesting to me because we have a first-time starter for Dave Donk. Everybody knows I love Dave Donk. Now, he's not good with first-time starters usually, but look who's coming to ride for him. Very, very puzzling. A guy who hardly ever rides for him. If it's either of the Ortiz brothers, it's going to be Jose. But this time, NYRA is riding for Donk on a first-time starter named Perfect Symphony, who I'm very, very interested in.
That's interesting right there.
Yeah, and especially in a field where, look, Mark Hennig's got a first-time starter. I like him a lot, too. Of course, Wesley Ward's got a horse in here, but this time Johnny's not riding. Jose is riding, maintains the mount on that horse, who only has one turf race, and led and then got caught in the stretch and beaten pretty good, actually. So maybe that's my exacta box right there, 210. That's looking pretty good. I like that.
It's not bad. Anyways. Race number 5, we're moving on to, and is that Todd Pletcher, Louise Size on the rail into Mischief Philly. That horse looks really good. Like, those workouts are good.
Yeah, if this horse breaks well, this is going to be very, very, very dangerous here.
47-3. That's a really good work. Maybe she's a late blooming filly. Belmont has a horse. Shug has a $975,000 purchase. Are people just like throwing their best horses on Thursday?
It's amazing the level of talent that's going on during the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. And
it's
look,
crazy, like they come back. Like what would have made it sweeter was Happy Saver coming back this week instead of last week.
Right. Yeah, that would have been crazy. Then I could have got a picture of him, too, which I didn't get to do, but I'll get a lot of pictures on these days. What about John Kimmel again this time? Kimmel is a lot better with his second-time starters than with his first-time starters, and I like one of his first-time starters earlier, and this horse has 2 really, really fast works last time out, and this horse is coming off a giant layoff, but seems to be ready. This is a freaking tough race right here. This is a really tough race.
5 or 6 are you talking about?
I'm talking about number 3, Soupster.
Let me take a look.
It sounds tasty, so I'll just go with her because it sounds alright.
Benjamin Hernandez, who has been god-awful. I don't know what has happened.
I know, and I know that Benji has not been good, but they paid $185,000 for this horse, so it must have seemed okay. And I don't know why. Maybe it was just trying to get a race in towards the end of the year, and then the time off was kind of needed. There is a break in the works, which concerns me, from February 7th up until April 14th. But since then, has not missed a beat. So at least lately, the horse seems to be doing all right.
Guess Soupster has to stoop down to some level.
Also,
I don't want any stupid. I want stepping up.
This is not related to Belmont, but Kendrick Carmouche just went up to Parks and won 2 races on 2 mounts.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, we're recording this on Tuesday, June the 1st, for reference
Taco Tuesday
purposes. Yeah, so this is a very tough race. Only 7 horses. Should be interesting. Hopefully, maybe we can get alive here into some of the bigger races coming up, and those bigger races start in the 6th itself. That is 7 furlongs on the turf. It's the Intercontinental, one of my favorite races every year.
You know what? I'm thinking that one horse, Chad Brown, 10-1.
Yeah, what a joke,
sounds like
right?
sounds like a sin.
Oh, totally.
Colby Hernandez comes up to ride the 4.
Yes, actually, this was a point that was brought up by my dad. And if you take a look at this horse, now the only question with this horse is, can go a little further, because this horse has been running shorter. But look at that form. That is pretty damn good. And 7-2 seems like a fair price. Maybe that drifts up because these people, the New Yorkers like myself, really don't know these people. And the price drifts up. What do you think, Sammy? You think maybe you get a little higher than 7-2 here?
You might get like 5-6-1 on this horse, to be honest. And Colby Hernandez, like, he's actually a pretty good rider.
Yeah, I don't know him, so maybe you could shed some light.
He was riding at he rides at like fairgrounds. He rides at those tracks. I think he's riding at Arlington. Let me make sure.
Yeah, and this is not a horse that goes out to the lead and then just barely holds on at 5.5 furlongs. This is a horse that's been closing in to 5.5 furlong races, so that doesn't necessarily
Colby
suggest.
Hernandez has been riding at Indiana Grand and all. He rides at like Indiana Grand. Not Arlington. He rides at Churchill. I knew it was one of them.
So it doesn't necessarily suggest that this horse can't get the 7 furlongs.
He can get, the stretch out, but he seems to. Like you said, he seems to close. She seems to close.
Right, and the whole thing though in this race is the price discrepancy between the two Chad horses. The one publication who's pretty decent is 10-1, and then we've got Regal Glory who is 6-5, and that makes no sense whatsoever because doesn't seem to be much better than the rest of this field.
I agree.
I don't get it. Let's see, is it Klaravich? No, it's Peter Brandt. Okay, well it didn't have a financial name, so I guess it wasn't Klaravich. And then, of course, we've got Clement, too, with Madeline Must, who seems a little bit slow, but Clement's winning everything, and he has no problem off a layoff.
Yeah.
All right.
Race number 7.
Here we go. Here's where it gets interesting,
go,
people. I mean, if this doesn't jump off the page, man.
If this doesn't get more obvious than this, me and Andrew, just for you guys to know, are all over this too. Mainstay. 5-2, which I didn't think we would get, but I'm not surprised one bit. The thing that is interesting is, I know Robert Reed. I know him because I follow Parks, my home track. He doesn't debut first-time starters in stakes races. I've never seen him do it that I can remember of. And if he does, you know something. And for Frankie Pennington to ship up to ride his horse too, if that does not tell you something, that Frankie Pennington he doesn't have a mount on anyways on Friday or Thursday, but that still tells you something that he wants to ship up. He wants to ride 2 hours to ride a first-time starter in a stake race. That tells you something.
Oh, completely. And I'm surprised. This is the first time I've seen the 5-2, but based on the way I was talking about this horse, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Although, when you look at that 5-2, and then you look at that Wesley Ward is 1-2, I mean, this might be a scenario where you might want to slam a cold exacta if you like the first or like we do, 2-4. Just slam that exacta cold, and hopefully that comes in.
Yeah.
Because, as we've said, Velasquez and Ward, they can't freaking lose right now. Yeah. This is something. I'm very excited to see this race.
Same.
Alright, the 8th race is a total mess. Because it's the Wonder again. And obviously, Jack already talked a lot about this race. I think anybody can win. I seriously think any horse in this race can win.
This race is really good. Really, really good. And I'm agreeing with you guys. Like, I can see the one winning Mia Martini, Grand Motion, John Velasquez. Has some nice races going through the field. Number 2 is Kona Lima. Flavian Pratt, Todd Pletcher coming off a stakes win. I get it. I get it coming off a stakes win too, and it's 20-1 coming down to the Cassie barn. Always late. Excuse me. Has 2 wins on the turf. Joyster is Joyster. Gift List won the Edgewood. What I mean by Joyster is Joyster. She won a nice race last time. Same with Gift List. Fluffy Socks has a win in a stakes race. Even Creative Kyra, you can make a case for too.
Oh, I think completely. I think this horse is being extremely overlooked at that 30-1 by David Aragona. You want to look at that last race, only got an 83 figure, but closed into a slow-ass pace on the turf at Aqueduct.
I agree.
I mean, you throw Christophe Clement out at your own peril right now.
That guy's on fire.
I mean, I would love, I'd actually love for one of the two Clements, and then, or one of the two Chads, or one of Graham Motion to scratch. Because then this race becomes really, really easy for me if one of those things happen. Because I can't play an exacta with 5 horses, and I can't play a triple with 5 horses. If you do that, that's $50 right there. I am not putting that kind of money down. But 4 horses, which should be 12 and 12, is a little more manageable. And then you can box the 2 Clements and the 2 Chads, or if one of them scratches, Chad and Clement, whoever's left with Motion. Because those are the guys that make me money. Chad, Clement, and Graham Motion. They are the guys who make me money over the years. I know Pletcher's in here. I know Brian Lynch has a good horse. I know that Belmont has a horse who has speed. That scares the shit out of me. This race is very conducive to speed. 1 1/8 on the inner. This is just a tough-ass race, but I have to stick with the people who make me money. And Chad, Motion, and Clement are those guys.
Yeah. Even the last race is really good too. The horses that is interesting is Luis Saez and Pletcher at 12-1, and number 9 Meet the Beauty. But Chad Brown at 8-1, Peter Brandt.
Yeah. Whoa, 8-1. You're getting 8-1 on that horse. Oh my God, that's a freaking steal. Oh my Lord.
Oh my God. Andrew, Chad has the 2 horse too with Ira.
Oh, this is it. This is it. Slam the freaking 211. 210, excuse me. Slam this 210.
Exactly. It's coming in. You heard it.
You heard it here first, people. 210, baby. That's it.
No, it might be 10-2. No, it's gonna be 10-2.
Oh, 10-2. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 10-2. I let me specify that. It's 10-2, please. I mean, this is like the most obvious thing.
Chad Longer Bryce, 4,000 over 4-1 Chad. Yeah.
Yeah, look, the Pletcher horse scares me, the one that's making the surface switch, Meet the Beauty. I'll be honest, because that horse has foundation, and I know it's not on the grass, but I don't really care. The pedigree is, the pedigree's not really turf at all. I don't see why he's trying the turf, but he's Todd Pletcher, and he's a lot smarter than I am. So, we'll see what happens with that. Maybe he's hoping this race comes off the turf, which hopefully it doesn't. We already mentioned the rain chance. McGahee's got 2 horses in here. It's Wesley Ward, but Rosario's riding, not Johnny. Johnny, I believe, is riding for Donk. Yes, Johnny is riding for Donk, and that's scary. But that horse has seconditis. That horse just can't win. Second by a head, second by a nose, second by a head. So I don't know if I'd worry too much about that horse at a short price. I guess I'll have to use him somehow, maybe with the 2 Chads. But Jesus Christ, if this doesn't jump off the page, then nothing does.
Andrew, that 2-year-old race was strong. You want me to tell you the field for Saturday in that race real quick?
Yeah, let's I want to bring this up, and we're going to put this in the video too, because there's I saw this months ago when they put together the condition book. I looked at Belmont Stakes Day, and I saw that there was going to be a 2-year-old race on Belmont Stakes Day card. Sammy, go ahead, please.
Number 1 is called Keep Calm Karen. I like that name.
Oh, Karen's the greatest breed on earth.
Todd Pletcher trained John Velasquez by Union Ranks, $75,000 purchase. Number 2 is Hagler for Rudy Rodriguez. Jose Lezcano ran second on debut to Little Drama, who's like 1-2 or 1-5 or something lower, even money in the Tremont. Number 3 is Wit by Practical Joke. Is that time? Practical? He's a freshman sire, right?
I don't know, but I know he's a good sprinter.
$575,000 purchase. Top Fletcher, I better tease. Rapoli Stable, St. Elias, and Gainesway, I think, owns. Number 4 is Disengage. Eric Consell, Michelle Nevin ran 5th on debut by 13 lengths. Number 5 is another Michelle Nevin horse, Golden Holiday. Manny Franco Rides ran 4th on debut by 8 lengths. And number 6, no, there's a couple more. Number 6 is My Rosie, Benjamin Hernandez, Alberta Davies. Trains. Never really heard that guy. Oh, whoa. Oh, there's another horse stuff. Number 7 is Baytown Warrior, Paul McKenty and Kendrick Carmouche ran 4th at Churchill, 8th, Keeneland 6th at Keeneland. But number 8 is Magical Night, $85,000 purchase. Ricardo Juan Vasquez. When I heard Juan Vasquez, this horse is coming up from Parks. That's interesting. And number 9 is Too Much Action, Jeremiah O'Dwyer, Luis Saez, and $23,000 purchase by Too Much Blend. That rate, the field is not that really good, but it's cool to have a speedway race on.
So it's not. So there's no Wesley.
No Wesley.
Oh, see that kind of ruins it for me. I wanted to see him. All right.
Oh, you want Wesley in the race, right?
I want 2 Wesleys in the race. Yeah.
I think you would switch Michelle Nevin out for just 2 Wesleys.
Yeah, but I don't like Harwood. Are they both for? Well, one of them ran at least, right? Or did they both run?
One of them both ran. They both ran the same race before. They ran 5th, and one other one ran 4th.
Okay, maybe they have some foundation. Yeah, we'll take a closer look at that, and we'll give you guys an update on that in the video coming out tomorrow for Saturday. Also, obviously, it'll be a one for Friday coming out tomorrow, too. But, yeah, this was just a little informal run-through Thursday's card. Kind of a little jump in here and there. Just a little bit to express our early ideas about what we feel. Formal ideas will be out in the form of picks on Thursday morning, hopefully adjusting for a regular racetrack instead of having to worry about anything off and anything off the turf or a yielding turf. We're going to pray and hope that everything's all right, and hopefully Friday is as well, because even though it probably won't rain on Friday, there might still be some effects with the turf course. Hopefully that doesn't happen at all, and we miss most of the rain coming. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Nathan. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for 2 more Belmont Stakes Racing Festival videos, Friday and Saturday. Stay tuned on Twitter as well, at RoadWarrior627. Check Sammy, Nathan, and Jack, who left early in this video, but I'll still have his stuff down in the description below. Everybody's stuff in the description down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Pay your bills first. And good luck as we start the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival.